in. So, as I said, when you be still too long, you keep being still. You know, you're training yourself to be still when you keep being still. So retrain yourself to move more. Find a reason to move more. Um, the deeper, the more you move through your day, the more likely you're able to go deep into the metaphysical space when you sleep and get your omens. Okay, it's easier then. So try to keep, move through your day, stand through your day. I try to avoid sitting down now unless I really have to. So enjoy the purging sounds as I'm sorting through stuff, cleaning, and everything. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. So, um, you've been lied to about how to work for God, and I'll explain it. Okay, the truth has been in our face for years. The reason why we can't see the truth is because the 9 to 5 job life warped and distorted it. The 9 to 5 job life trained us to see it in a toxic way, to do it in a toxic way. So the true way to work for God is the preparation has to be longer than the actual workload, the working. So if you're working for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you should have done preparation for an hour. What this does is that's the time where you're actually connecting to the metaphysical realm to get your ancestors to help you. Okay? It takes a while when you're not really good at meditating. So, preparation is still a form of another way of meditation, contacting the support from the other side. It's also a way of grounding without like doing some tree pose or burning frankincense. It's still grounding. So hi everybody. So the preparation must be longer. Look at it like you're knocking on the door to the pyramid that has the abundance that you're supposed to get for the work you're doing, or the work is the abundance that's in the pyramid. So now, believe it or not, 30 minutes may seem like it's not a lot, but it's actually a lot. It's actually 30 minutes of work. It's like 2 hours of work to the metaphysical realm. Remember, it's moving faster than us. So the only speed that counts is the speed of the metaphysical realm. Because we're running on a false sense of speed because we're in a human body. And we've been trained by the 9 to 5 job life to think 30 minutes is not much. Okay? But you got to look at it like the speed, the time, how way time moves on the other side. Okay? Hi, everybody. So hopefully we'll get more people in here. Some people jumped out. We're going to wait. I see there's only one person in here. So enjoy the sounds as I'm cleaning here. So each work each work has to be like 20 to 30 minutes, and then the break is about 10 minutes. Okay, 10 is the number of completion as well. So you get your 10 minutes in, and at that time, what you're doing is you're bringing your energy back down to rest, because when you're doing work, you're in flight. Okay, so you're flying for 20 minutes, and then you're resting on a branch for 10 minutes, and then you're flying another again for 20 minutes, and then you're resting on a branch for 10 minutes. Now, resting on a branch does not mean you just sit down in your chair. Resting means going a lot slower than you were going when you were working. Resting means that you're not focusing on the work you just did. you're having a detachment period so that you can let your ancestors give you confirmation on the work you just did so that they can receive it, so they can work on it after you worked on it. So the resting is normally like you can do it by clearing out um, the energy that you released in rotation of receiving. So what I like to do is I'll purge, but I'll purge very slowly. Okay. And I'll do that maybe about 20 minutes at the most. But I try not to do it longer than the work I did. So, for example, I was in here talking to y'all for about an hour. So, my purge needs to be under an hour. See what I'm saying? Now, if you don't like to do that, then within 10 minutes into your purge, you can switch back to the work you just did. But for me, I like to continue on with the purge until whatever whatever energy I received during the work that wasn't quite healthy, I have released it. I feel lighter, but not lighter in flight. I just feel lighter at energy rest. Okay. And once I feel that, then I'll be like, okay, it's time to jump back into the work. So normally it's about, like, as I said, 10 to 20 minutes if you've been working for an hour. But if you've been working for 20 minutes, then the rest is 10 minutes. You want to not rest so long if you've been working for 20 minutes. So let's say you did a 20-minute writing your book. I would say a 5-minute rest. Okay. You don't want to rest long because then too much detachment from the connection with the metaphysical realm on that work starts to happen. So about 5 minutes. Now, some people like to rest for 10 minutes and create for 20 minutes. I feel like that's kind of risky because that's like half and half. So, you only work 10 minutes more than you rested. So that's kind of like risky. There's a risk of too much spiritual detachment from the work. So 5-minute rest, 20-minute work. If it's 1 hour work, I would say 20-minute rest. Hi, everybody. If the employers work this way, there'll be more people working. If you ever notice, the employers are actually in more lack mindset than you are. That's why they're like, work 4 hours straight before you get a break. Okay? They're in a greed energy. And that's because the energy you're using is not theirs. So they don't care. Okay? So it's actually kind of like dark art witchcraft they're doing. They're sitting there with all this energy while just using you like a battery. This is why most people who work 4 hours straight and only get a 30-minute break, they pretty much can't manifest anything else. When they get home, they're dried up. They can't create. For example, when Charles Bukowski was working in the post office, for 8 hours or whatever, he really wasn't writing. It was holding him back. He had nothing left in him. His resting wasn't abundant enough for him to be able to create when he got home after his 9 to 5 post office job. This is why he quit the job, and he said working long hours in 9 to 5 job is soul sucking. So like it sucks out your soul. So once he cut back his hours and he got a job that didn't use so much of his hands, he became a more prolific writer. So when you're doing work that's your purpose and for God, you also have to think about how long you have been using your tools for multiple different things and not just your purpose. So if you've been using up your tools for multiple different things, even if you're rested, you can't expect those tools to serve your purpose. The energy they had has been used. So they still have to rest, even though you haven't done your purpose yet. You haven't used them for your purpose. Hi, everybody. Kind of breaking it down for y'all, okay? So, if you have to rewire your mind to see that 20 minutes is actually like an hour of work at least on the metaphysical world. So your angels don't see that as a little bit. Actually, when you see 20 minutes as an hour of work, you're actually telling the angels, because the 20 minutes is short in our time, they must give you the best that is available in your metaphysical world, because you only have 20 minutes in this time. So they have 2 hours, sometimes at the most, in those 20 minutes to get everything together for you. But they know that you only have 20 minutes on this side of the realm. So that's why they're like really picky about what they give you, because you don't have that much time on that project. So they this is why they like you to be skilled, so that when you're skilled, at some point the 20 minutes do feel like 2 hours. Okay? It won't feel like you exhausted yourself, but what you create will feel like you did 2 hours instead of 20 minutes. Okay? The angels are very skilled, and they're very qualified and ready. When you are, they will give you in 20 minutes what they get in 2 hours. So they will lock you in to their 2-hour time period, but within your only 20 minutes in this time period. And you'll notice, because you're like, why is all my skills showing up in this 20 minutes? All the different techniques I could do is showing up in this 20 minutes. Somehow I'm accessing them all in stream of consciousness in just 20 minutes. It's going to seem really short, because time feels short to the angels. Even though it's 2 hours to them, it doesn't feel like that to them. So when you're skilled at what you're doing, you will feel what the angels felt. Like, I got 2 hours worth of work in 20 minutes, but I swear that 20 minutes only felt like 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So if you are doing God's work and you have some work to do, stop and get skilled. Get skilled. Just stop doing it and just look at like skills, building skills in it. Take a month to build skills in it. And then when you've got a couple skills in it that you're getting really good at, then you start doing that 20-minute work and 5-minute rest. And you'll notice that the more you do that, the more it seems like you tap into some genius ability in just 20 minutes. Whereas someone somewhere else is taking 2 hours to do what you're doing, you're taking only 20 minutes. But you will swear that you only been creating for 5 minutes. Because that's how quicker the abundant ideas will come to you. Because when you practice those skills over and over again, they are echoing and resonating in your metaphysical space. So they're most likely to show up real fast in those 20 minutes. Hi, everybody. All right. This information is not for free, shall not be copied, and shall not be used without my express permission. Okay, y'all. Please don't use this without giving credit. You don't want to get on the bad side of the angels, because this is a very important year for me. This is a really important spiritual 12-month period for me. So you don't want to take my stuff without permission, because then you would be offending like Gabriel or Michael, those angels. You'll be offending the big ones. Okay? So 20 minutes. Now, because some of us aren't that tapped into the number system to know when we've rested long enough to start again without detachment, too much detachment, you have to use a physical clock. Okay? Now, one way to know when you have rested enough but haven't detached from the thing is you should not be slipping into like almost like you're losing faith in it. When you start to lose your faith in it, you've rested a little bit too long. Even if you say I only rested 10 minutes, it was too long according to how long you were creating. So you went past the bottom of the sea. You started to go